Hello everyone, good evening. So we are back with today's session on current affairs, where we will discuss exclusively some of the important current affairs which will be very much important for you in the upcoming mains. Okay, so as we have promised that we are covering around 13 months of current affairs, which is covered from March 2022. Okay, and therefore we will cover around 500 most important mains oriented current affairs topics, which will be covered via our platform. Okay, so if you are new to this platform, please join our platform so as to get some of the regular updates in this particular channel of CSAP. So today we will discuss about the table of contents. So you can see about the project Hati Bandhu, you can see COP27, the Conference of Parties, Vigilance Awareness, Assam, IIM, MOU, then Millet Mission, Vikram S, which is the private jet that has been recently been announced, UN's highest environmental honor, coking coal, SCO, China Space Station, Deportation of Foreigners, ILP in Assam, Amur Falcons, and non-reporting offense. So these are the 14 topics that we will discuss today in our current affairs. Okay, let's start with the first one, which is basically related to environment. Okay, environment related bostu loi aisu ami. Okay, this environment related bostu kini amar khadai important hoi thake. So you can see nature lovers script success story through Hati Bandhu project. Okay, so we can see about that this area, which is the Bamuni Reserve. Okay, that came into prominence in the Karbi foothills. Okay, has become a major attraction for the people who truly love nature and like to conserve wildlife. Okay, and thanks to the effort of Pradeep Kumar Bhuya, who was an octogenarian and also an environmentalist. Okay, alongside his team at Hati Bandhu, which are on a mission to ensure the survival of the wild elephants by addressing the depleting food security experienced by the elephants in this region. Okay, so that is one of the important criteria of this particular project, which was enshrined under the Hati Bandhu project. Our hetu kane news asile, so tekhetokale bahut khini projects korise. Okay, we can see that they have done the elephant movement in project areas. Okay, project areas of bahut khini elephant habitat environment program kotha korisile. Tekhetokale community skill development program report korise. Tekhetokale community paddy plantation program report korise. And also they have sensitization and awareness program for rural children project. So that is one of the important factors. Okay, and this effort is to minimize the man-animal conflict, which is basically the resultant thing today, because humans are slowly encroaching upon the forest reserves, which are basically protected for such number of wild animals. Okay, so etu karone etu bostu news asile, please mind it, this news is very important. Okay, oh bapre screenshot lagai save hoye gol mane thik ase hok save no issue. Okay, so etu ahile Hati Bandhu. Okay, so it's a non-profit organization working with local communities and elephants to mitigate human-animal conflict and promote peaceful coexistence between the two in Assam. Okay, so etu eta first project asile. So various projects tikira moi naam koisu. Okay, yar gote kita likha ase tomalokor. Okay, so you can directly go ahead with this particular project. Okay, that is one of the important criteria that you need to go ahead in this particular project, that is known as Hati Bandhu, started by the government of Assam. Next, COP27 begins in Egypt today. So this was in November. Okay, so I mean November loka ahi paisu hi current affairs. So the 27th edition hoy aru hetu kane to kapi ki koisu COP27, the Conference of Parties. Okay, so today we know that the Conference of Parties is a very important concept. Okay, for protection of the respective climates. Okay, actions on the respective earth or on the respective global earth today. So আজি a Conference of Parties to hoise India to seek clarify on climate finance, তো তাৰ কাৰণে এই কনফাৰেন্স অফ পাৰ্টিজ টু কোনে অৰ্গানাইজ কৰে UNFCCC okay so UNFCCC United Nations Framework for a Convention on Climate Change so they are basically talking about the climate change and we can see that there are various major initiatives which has been announced in this G20 in this COP27 meeting first key initiative announced কৰিছিলে International Climate Change University okay এটা propose কৰা গৈছিলে ক'ত in Sri Lanka important হয় okay with an ancillary institution in Maldives এটো কৰা গৈছিলে তাৰপিছত এটা UAE এটো কৰা গৈছিলে তাৰপিছত এটা UAE Egypt deal কৰা গৈছিলে okay and this is directly to comprehend and develop the world's largest wind farms so the environment minister of India Sri Bhupendra Yadav who is leading the Indian delegation to the COP27 so India would press developed countries to fulfill their commitments to deliver around $100 billion of climate finance annually. And it would also press for enhanced transparency and more institutional mechanisms to make these funds available to developing countries that are most vulnerable to climate change. So, ehar kotha mainly amar COP27 ot discuss kora goisile. So, therefore, COP27 was the news. Please mind it. So, you can see the timeline of the Conference of Parties. 1992 Earth Summit COP1 1995 okay then 1997 Kyoto Protocol হৈছিলে ইয়াত Marrakesh Records বুলি আহিছিল কেতিয়া 2001 2012 CMP Doha 7 Bali Montreal Protocol okay then we can see the Warsaw Adopted Green Climate Fund 13 Paris Climate Deal বহুত important হয় এটো COP26 Glasgow COP27 Sharm el Sheikh which is basically in Egypt okay so এটো এটা timeline হয় okay please find it so you can see these are the major things that has been taken next Vigilance Awareness Week 2022 okay so etu kona pati asile so the observations of Vigilance Week every year during the last week of October is taken up to encourage all stakeholders to collectively participate in the prevention of and the fight against corruption and also to raise public awareness regarding the existence causes and gravity and the threat posed by corruption so etu card eta main লক্ষ্য হয় of the vigilance commissions so today we know about the CVC Central Vigilance Commission we know about the CVC Central Vigilance Commission ki hoy so it has the mandate under the Central Vigilance Commission Act 2003 to fight corruption and to ensure integrity in public administration and therefore it charged with monitoring all vigilance activities under the central government and also advising various authorities in the central government and organization under it in planning, executing, reviewing their vigilance work to bring out systemic improvements in governance. And what are the theme for 2022? Corruption-free India for a developed nation. That was the main theme of this particular vigilance week. Corruption-free India for a developed nation. আৰু এটো আৰম্ভ কেতিয়াৰ পৰা হৈছিল 31st October পৰা 6 November লৈকে হৈছিল that is basically known as the vigilance week okay so ইয়াতে বহুত কিনি কৰা workshop conduct কৰে competitions পাতে debate competition পাতে quiz competition পাতে okay organizational website release কৰায় okay special issues are কিছুমান so all these things directly come into prominence with respective to these activities which are planned in the context of vigilance okay so ekhini kotha ahi gol vigilance awareness week or under so yata corruption for free okay activities ki asle sob kotha koa ase yata anyways coming to the next one the policies yat ki ahil government of Assam signs an MOU with IIM Bangalore Indian Institute of Management aru ki for launch of Chief Minister's Young Professional Program CMYPP 2023 to 2025 very important okay আৰু এটো কি হয় a 2-year leadership program okay 23 পৰা 24 পৰা 25 2 বছৰ তো কি হয় Chief Minister's Young Professional Program which is CMYPP your main target ki 75 young professionals to be trained through a combination of on the job experience and classroom training objective ki hoy attract quality talent outside traditional recruitment channel provide opportunity and helping government identify opportunities of improvement in health, education and women and child development sectors. Okay, so here the mentoring program solibo to be mentored by IIM Bangalore and Government of Assam. Our awards for professionals, yate certificate diya jabo ekhon, our government will invest on the professionals for the future at rupees 1.5 lakh per month. Very important. Kiman toka khorch koribo government? 1.5 lakh per month. Etu government khorch koribo, and this is basically the awards that has been given to the respective professionals. Okay, very importantly. So here ki goise, it's an endeavor to encourage private sector talent to participate in the developmental journey of the state. The government of Assam has signed an MOU with the IIM to jointly operate the Chief Minister's Young Professional Program. Okay, so mainly ki hoy, talent to participate in the developmental journey of the state. Okay, so ye to ahi gol CMYIP under. Next আমাৰ আহি গল Assam Millet Mission across state for the session of 2022-23. Okay, so Assam Millet Mission. আমি জানো যে 2023 is basically the International Year of Millets. Okay, millets কি কি পৰি যায়? Jawar, bajra, ragi, এবিলাক millets পৰি যায়. Okay, so we know that state government has decided to launch a mega demonstrative farming scheme, Assam Millet Mission, across the state for the session of 2022-23. Okay, তাৰ কাৰণে I can see that the state government is directly doing with a view to expand and increase millet cultivation in the state, and the government has initiated the scheme across the state. So we know that along with the launching of the Millet Mission, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma also inaugurated 6 soil testing and quality control laboratories at Bongaigaon, Morigaon, Udalguri, Golaghat, Korimganj and Dolong. Please note this districts which are very important in the context of this soil testing and quality laboratory. Kot kolo, Bongaigaon kolo, Morigaon kolo, Udalguri kolo, Golaghat kolo, Korimganj kolo, aru Dolong kolo. These are the 6 districts where the laboratories for soil testing and quality control will be set up. And there will be 2 knowledge center. Kot hobo? Eta hobo Dhemaji aru eta hobo Titabor. Titabor kot ase? Surhator ase. And that is through the virtual mode of the same program. So even synchronizing with the program, Chief Minister also started the process of distributing around 126 harvesters, thousands of mini trucks. Okay, and also we can see that there are various number of other process which is directly defined under this particular criteria. বহুত kini yate associated affairs discuss kora goisil. Okay, even yate pump set dibo tekheta holo, multi purpose pulverizer dibo. Okay, solar PV lamps dibo kisuman. To enuka dhoroner bahut yate discuss kora goise with respective to this Assam millet cultivation under the Assam Millet Mission. Okay, aru yar logot kun include hobo Assam Agribusiness and Rural Transformation Project, which is known as APART. Okay, Agribusiness and Rural Transformation Project. So etu ki koribo? Project development objective of APART is to add value and improve resilience of selected agriculture value chains, focusing on smallholder farmers and agro entrepreneurs in targeted districts of the state of Assam. Okay, our the guiding principles of the project are what? Focus on the cluster approach, increase private sector participation. Model to ami ki hol loi jam, private investment model loi jam. Improve public sector capacity. Okay, then this is the one with respective to this Millet Mission. Okay, chalo. Next ki ahile India's first privately made rocket launched. Okay, first privately made rocket. Okay, aru yate we can see that November 12 to 16 launch. Okay, Skyroot Aerospace will launch Vikram S between this from Sriharikota, which is in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, it will carry 3 sets, including one made by students of Space Kids India. Okay, rocket has got technical launch note from in space. Okay, so ami jano the recently Chennai based space tech setup Agnikul Cosmos inaugurated India's first private space vehicle launchpad at the Satish Dhawan Space Center at Sriharikota. And it was executed in support of the ISRO, obviously, and also in space. In space to ki hoy Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center. Okay, very important. So the launchpad is specifically built to address the need for ISRO's range operations team to monitor key flight safety parameters during launches. Okay, so এই বস্তুৰ কাৰণে আমাৰ এই যেটো মেইন ৰকেট হয় এই ৰকেটটো আমাৰ কাৰণে বহুত ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট হৈ যায় because this is the Vikram S, which is India's first privately made rocket. Okay, ইয়াত কোনো ডাইৰেক্ট কোঅপাৰেশন কাৰ নাই, গভৰ্নমেন্টৰ কোঅপাৰেশন নাই. So here it is fully, it's a private made rocket and therefore it's a semi-cryogenic engine that uses a mixture of liquid kerosene and super cold liquid oxygen to propel itself. So that is the main classification of this particular rocket, which has been launched by this from Sriharikota, that is known to be the Vikram S. Okay, and also it is from the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, chalo. So yate ahi jai, what is the Param mission? Okay, so it is aimed at carrying 3 payloads into space, including a 2.5 kilogram payload that has been developed by students from several countries. Param mission has the Vikram S rocket, were developed by the Hyderabad-based startup with existing support from the Indian Space Research Organization and also IN Space. Okay, so etu amar ahi jai under this Param mission. Okay, so Param mission is one of the very important mission where we would directly go for launching various number of rockets, so that we could make it some single stage suborbital launch vehicle that can carry 3 customer payloads at least. Okay, so it would directly boost towards the sector which is directly known to be the private sector in terms of space. So about SpaceX, which is basically known to be the private agency excluding the NASA. NASA is it's a government agency, but SpaceX is not. So SpaceX build up and that is basically through the schemes which are known as the, or the mission that are known as the Param. Okay. Next, in terms of economic development, PM inaugurates Donio Polo Airport, coming hydropower station. Northeast getting highest priority, says Modi. So it was our airport police in Arunachal Pradesh. We all know Arunachal Pradesh of Doni Polo. So Doni Polo ki hai? It is the designation given to the indigenous religion, which is animistic and also shamanic type. Okay, of the Tibeto-Burman origin and peoples of Arunachal Pradesh, and even in some portion of Assam, you can see this type of religion getting followed. So this name Donyo Polo, it means what? Sun moon. Okay, and was chosen for the religion in the process of its revitalization and institutionalization. So this Donyo Poloism has been there from time immemorial. Okay, and this religion has developed into a very good form today, which have taken in this part of Northeast, basically in Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, so therefore, if I have to see about this Donyo Polo Airport, so mostly Donyo Polo Airport of Attack. So today in this particular sector of Donyo Polo Airport, I have to say that this airport, okay, which is known to be the Donyo Polo Airport, this airport is basically in Arunachal Pradesh. And when I have to say about this airport, which is at Arunachal Pradesh, it was previously it was known as the Holongi Airport. Okay, Holongi Airport. And therefore, you can see that this location is very much suitable in a hilly area like Arunachal, and therefore, this region has been chosen to even go for the airport because it has got a huge runway, around 2,300 meters of runway. Okay, and it will support various number of aircrafts, which are today. Obviously, it will not support some of the very heavy aircrafts. Okay, it will support the aircraft Alliance aircraft thake. Okay, so every aircraft or private jets support for you, but obviously it will not support the huge aircraft, and therefore it has not been elevated to the airport of international importance. Okay, so it is strategically very important airport, and therefore this airport has been recently launched and opened by Prime Minister Narendra Modi with Arunachal CM Pema Khanduji and also Kiran Rijiju, Union Law Minister. Okay. So here it is benefits of the project: direct air connectivity to the capital city of Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, ease of access to other remote areas in case of natural calamities and medical emergencies, boost to tourism industry and employment generation, then enhance opportunities for export and trade of local produce and products. Okay, so it benefits hoigal. Ab salient features ki suitable for operation of Airbus 320 type, jitu mo kolu Alliance Air type. Okay, Alliance Air to car Air India. Okay, then separate apron for parking of 4 Mi-17 helicopters. Karan to lagibo amak strategically lagibo bahut kini important. Equipped with instrument landing system for facilitation of 24/7 operations. Terminal building capable to serve 300 passengers during peak hours. Okay, so ebilak amar kisuman salient features asile with respect to this airport. Okay, So with this airport, all 8 northeastern state capitals will now have airports, and this will be the 3rd operational airport in Arunachal Pradesh. So this is the 7th airport to have been built in the northeastern in the last 8 years, and this rapid development of airports in the region is keeping with the government's emphasis on increasing connectivity and the what? কি হয় উড়ান উড়ে দেশ কা আম নাগরিক ঠিক আছে তো এটো রিজনাল কানেক্টিভিটি কারণে আমি ইয়াতে ইউটিলাইজ কৰি আছো next so this is also the first greenfield project in northeast India greenfield মানে কি হয় obviously a new project okay এটি আমাৰ LGBI টো কি হ'ব brownfield হৈ যাব it is not a new project existing আছিল ইয়াৰ এয়াৰপোৰ্ট বাট ইয়াতে existing নাছিল okay একো নাছিল so এটো হয় ঠিক আছে Next cycle awards of Purnima Devi Burman amongst 5 chosen for the UN's highest environmental honor. Okay, so she is a very she is the lady Purnima Devi Burman. Okay, who is basically an environmentalist. Okay, and she worked upon the greater adjudant stock. Jitu kami Hargilla boli ko. Okay, it is the second rarest stock species in the world, and their population has dropped by around 1200 today, which is less than 1% of what they are numbered a century ago. And to organize destruction of their natural habitat. So the urbanization of the rural areas, road construction, replacement by buildings. So এইবিলাকৰ কাৰণে তেখেতসকলৰ যেটো এটা environment হয় এটো endangered হৈ আছে So obviously Burman, that is I am telling about Purnima Devi Burman. Okay, so she had to change perceptions of the bird as a bad omen, bad or bad luck. Okay, so she assembled a group of villagers or village women to help her and named the group Hargilla Army, after the stock known as Hargilla in Assamese, which means bone swallower. So in 2017, Burman began building tall bamboo nesting grounds, okay, for endangered birds to hatch their eggs, and a couple of years later, the first greater adjudant stock chicken sticks were born. So the Hargilla army, okay, has helped communities plant around 45,000 saplings, which near stocking nesting nest trees in also various number of wetland areas to support the future production of these Hargillas. So this Hargilla army also works to reduce the pollution in the rivers by organizing cleaning drives on the banks of the rivers and also in various number of wetlands. Okay, Tarupor, Burman also helped women become self-sufficient by weaving looms as well as yarn, and they are now creating some of the textiles decorated with motifs of Hargilla. And this entrepreneurship is creating awareness in the birds and also making women financially independent. So as I told so they are today locally known as what? Locally we can see in our country it is known as Garuda. Okay, and we can see that Bhagalpur's Karwa Daira floodplains area, which is the 3rd most popular breeding center of the greater adjudant stock in the world after Assam and Cambodia. So আজি এটো বহুত জায়গাত পায় নেপালত পোৱা যায় ইন্ডিয়াত পোৱা যায় বাংলাদেশত পোৱা যায় ভুটানত পোৱা যায় অসমত সবতকৈ বেছি ওকে চাইনাত পোৱা যায় মিয়ানমাৰত পোৱা যায় লাওছত পোৱা যায় থাইল্যান্ডত পোৱা যায় কেম্বোডিয়াত পোৱা যায় ভিয়েটনামত পোৱা যায় বহুত জায়গাত আছে okay and today it is directly classified as endangered under the IUCN Red List আৰু schedule 4th হৈছে কোড in the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 okay so therefore we can see that today hardly around 1500 মান বাকি আছে so এখিনিকে বসাবলে তেখেতে কাম কৰিছিলে so that is the UNEP's champions of the earth individuals group and organization whose actions have a transformation impact on the environment okay so etu karone tekhetok yate award dise that is the UN's highest environmental honor to Purnima Devi Burman for setting up this Hargilla army and even satisfying the causes of the nature for the protection of this particular species which is known to be the Hargilla, and because of their loss of habitat this Hargillas are slowly dying. Okay, so it was like yeah. Next, government preparing coking coal mission. Okay, so bid to reduce coking coal imports, increase use of local coal in steel making. So we can see that government is preparing a coking coal mission to diversify the sources of key steel making raw material for which the country is being dependent. So as I told you, simple sa ami ete kiho kane lolu just because here it is talking about the coking coal. Okay, so bostu bujhi loa je coking coal ki hoy. What is basically known to be the coking coal? Coking coal hoy ki it's a high quality coal that is low in impurities and high in carbon content, which makes it ideal for the use in various number of metallurgical purpose. আমি সব কোল সব জায়গাতে ইউজ কৰিব নোৱাৰো. We know about the types of coal: anthracite, bituminous, lignite, peat. এইবিলাক হৈ গ'ল. It is the best quality of coal, য'ত 80 to 90% carbon content থাকে. Okay, আমাৰ ইণ্ডিয়াত সবতকৈ বেছি কি পায়? Bituminous টো পায়. Okay, anthracite ক'ত পায়? অলপ আমি ইষ্টাৰ্ণ কৰিডৰ পাম, অলপ জম্মু এণ্ড কাশ্মীৰত পাম. Okay, so this coking coal is the high quality coal that has got less in impurities. So coking coal is used to produce coke, which is porous, solid carbon material that is used as a fuel and also as a reducing agent in the production of iron steel. So today if I have to say about the largest coking coal producing countries in the world, obviously first place of China, 3.7 billion tons. Just imagine. That's what India, 783 million tons. Another 3.7 billion, আমি 783 million tons কৰি আছো. ইয়াৰ পিছত আহে US আহে, তাৰপিছত ইণ্ডোনেছিয়া আহিব. US আহে আৰামছে 640 million tons মানত. ইণ্ডোনেছিয়া আহে 600 মানৰ ভিতৰত. So that is what we known as the coking coal. That is the highest quality of coal. So এইটো কাৰণে আমি এটা চাই আছো যে how we can increase the production of coking coal so that we can directly make a good number of metallurgical process and also we can directly make some good outputs and also developing the manufacturing industry in our particular state. Okay, so it was equal coking coal or product. So you can see this one. Okay, anthracite, hard coal, bituminous, lignite. Okay, it's obviously not a coal. Okay, it is brown coal বুলি কওঁ, it is soft coal বুলি কওঁ, it is hard coal বুলি কওঁ. Okay, আৰু সবতে heat আৰু pressure drive হয় বেছি হয়, and that's we can find very much beneath the earth. Okay, so it was equal coking coal লৈ পেলাই. Next, Jaishankar to represent India at SCO meet today. Mainly কি হয় Shanghai Cooperation Organization. তো Shanghai Cooperation Organization বুলি কোৱাৰ লগে লগে আমি মেইনলি আমাৰ এইখনে মাথাত আহে about the countries in association with the SCO. তো ইয়াতে aim কি কৰি আছে? Resolving border issues, fighting terrorism, bolster regional security আৰু counter American influence in Central Asia. ইয়াতো আহি পেলাই পাকিস্তানে কাৰ কথা কয়? কাশ্মীৰৰ কথা কয়. Okay, so as you know that we have got a good significance with respective to this economic with respective to this element which is known as the SCO. So as the SCO লগ আমাৰ economic cooperation আছে. Okay, so we know that the 8 member countries of SCO represent around 42% of the world's population, and today we are representing around 25% of the global GDP. Okay, so there is an immense potential in the region which can be promoted by increasing awareness about the SCO countries. Also, the connectivity, China-Pakistan economic corridor, international north-south transport corridor, এইবিলাকো এটা ফ্যাক্টর আছে. Security cooperation কথা আহে, regional anti-terrorism squad. Okay, that is the RATS. It's a part of this SCO. So সদায় আমি SCO খন যিখন মেম্বার কান্ট্রি আছে, চাইনা হওক, কাজাকিস্তান, কিরগিজস্তান, রাশিয়া, তাজিকিস্তান, উজবেকিস্তান, ইন্ডিয়া, পাকিস্তান. Okay, so we need to broaden up the factors in association with this SCO. আজি আমি SCO কথা এইখিনি কাৰণে আমি ভাবিব লাগিব যে how we could directly safeguard our particular areas. Okay, so obviously India SCO to ইমান seriously নলয় just because of this particular factor, আৰু এতিয়াতো seriously নলয় আৰু এটা কাৰণ হৈ গৈছে because of Pakistan. Okay, so এইবিলাক আমাৰ কিছুমান problems আহে with respect to SCO. So but you should know what is SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Okay, headquarters code, main motto code, আৰু এতিয়া recently কি হৈ আছে India. So এইখিনি বস্তু অলপ জানিলে I can say that it is more than sufficient. Okay, so it's a permanent intergovernmental international organization created in June 2001 in Shanghai, China, য'ত এতিয়াও headquarter আছে. Okay, so কিমান percentage হয় কিমান হয় এইটো চালাই. Okay, India stand on connectivity project in the SCO region. India does not stand with whom? The Belt and Road Initiative of China, and also with the CPEC, that is the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Next, here is about the China launches third and the final space station module. That is International Space Station, যেটো আমি China নাম দিছে Tiangong. Tiengong. Tiangong. এটো China নাম দিছে. So you can see this is Tiangong. Okay, how it will look when fully assembled. Okay, so yate etu ase Shenzhou, which is the crew capsule, yate manu jabo. Yate Menjian, which is basically the science lab. Etu ki hoy Wenxian, that is also the science lab. Ephale science lab hoy. Then this is Tianhe. Here the core module including main living area and etu Tianzhou robotic cargo ship. Okay, so etu eta direct representation hoy of the Chinese space station. Okay, aru etu eneka dekha jabo. Okay, it will directly work like whom? It will directly work like the International Space Station. যেটো সোনকালে ৰিটায়াৰ হ'বলৈ গৈ আছে ঠিক আছে সো এটো ডাইৰেক্টলি এটা চাইনাৰ হয় which will be released by around 2030 okay so we can see that the space station of China okay so it is near about in completion okay so it will place koribo is a Chinese space station being in low earth orbit between 340 and 450 kilometers above the earth okay so it will yata place koribo and what are India's space station program so India is planning to launch its own space station by 2030 or China by 2025 so joining the league of US Russia and China to an allied space club so Indian space station will be much smaller mass of 20 tons than the ISS and will be used for carrying out microgravity experiments not for space tourism okay so preliminary plan for the space station is to accommodate astronauts for up to 20 days in space and the project will be an extension of the Gaganyaan mission okay so it will orbit earth at an altitude of around 400 kilometers to our distance to more or less same hobo okay so obviously India is planning to launch its own mission okay aru tar 20 tons hobo hetu ami already kolu okay aru yata amak kone support dibo obviously ISRO support okay so that is one of the important aspect of this mission tomorrow rakhiba Tiangong okay which is the Chinese space station which will soon be launched by 2025 next year hai center preparing draft pack for deportation of foreigners so yet mainly deportation kotha koy deportation mane ki hoy it is the expulsion of a person or a group of people from a place or a country and it can be done by a country when a foreigner violates the immigration laws of the country so tetia ei bostu kora jay okay so today if I have to see about external deportation so external deportation ki hibo so in general foreigners who have committed serious crimes okay who have entered the country illegally, overstayed or broken the conditions of their visa or otherwise they have lost their legal stay to remain on that country, they will be deported. Arvata is internal deportation which basically happens within the state or a group of people who are forcibly allowed or who are forcibly made to resettle in different parts of the country. Okay, so teneke bahut thake colonial deportation thake okay jibilak eta time ahisile okay Britain during the time of Britain they have deported kiblak thake criminal deportation thake okay kiba ta tekhokole crime korise okay bahut dangor crime so they needs to be exiled eblak ahe tarpot amar karone eta bahut regulations ase passport entry into India Act of 1920 Foreigners Act 1946 Registration of Foreigners Act 1939 Passport India Act 1920 okay Foreigners India Act Foreigners Act of 1946 enko bahut ase Registration of Foreigners Act 1939 enko ase okay Registration of Foreigners Rule 1992 বহুত খিনি আছে তেনেকুৱা ঠিক আছে তো হেতুৰ মতে ইয়াতে এখন ভাবিছে যে কেনেকৈ আমি এখন নতুন ড্ৰাফট বনাও so that we can deport more and more foreigners basically the Bangladeshis which has come via this corridor of eastern part to the country of India okay so etu yate ahi gol ya gutekhini koa ase halke sai leba pisot next future of Assamese people not secure without ILP etu kune kole AJYCP Ahom Jatiyobodi Yuba Chhatra Porishod okay so therefore AJYCP on the eve of Supreme Court hearing on the inner line permit issue the AJYCP said that without the provision of the Home Minister through a notification on month the state that filed a petition to the Supreme Court on India against the unconstitutional cancellation of the ILP from Assam in 2020 so ILP is an inner line permit is a travel document officially issued by the concerned state government permitting inward travel of an Indian citizen in a protected territory and this inner line permit was in news recently when in December 2020 the Union Home Minister Amit Shah stated that ILP was an important step taken by the central government towards the betterment of the state of Manipur. Okay, so today we can see that the inner line permit was implemented as a part of the Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation of 1873. Okay, and obviously on December 2020 Manipur became the fourth northeastern state to effect as an order including the inner line permit which was signed by President Ramnath Kovind ji. Okay, but today if I see about the applications of the ILP, so Manipur ILP valid for domestic tourists, okay we all know about such. Then we can see that no permit is basically required for foreign tourists but they have to register themselves to the SP. Even if I say about Mizoram, ILP needed for domestic tourists, but foreign tourists have to register themselves with the SP. Okay, Nagaland ILP kenekwa hoy, it needed for domestic tourists, but foreign tourists have to register themselves at the nearest police station. Arunachal Pradesh ki hoy, tourist needs a protected area permit or restricted area permit from the Ministry of Home Affairs that is directly coming in from the government of India. Eto Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, since aru eta kotha hoy je Dimapur jitu amar Nagaland ase, since it's a commercial hub, it is the only place in Nagaland which is exempted from the ILP regime. Okay, etu karone Dimapur jodi kale porhi tumi train odi jua, Dimapur goi nami dia tomak ILP na lage. Okay, so what is the importance of this inland permit? You can see importance hoy ki indigenous culture and tradition can be better preserved. Illegal migrants are encroachment hobo nware, aru tar uporote yate demographic balance to set up hoye jay in the northeastern region. So that is the core demand of even the AJYCP to protect the Assamese from this particular area, in this particular area, from all such number of menace, basically from foreigners which are basically coming in from Bangladesh. So etu karone yate demand kora goisile, but since etu turn down kora goise, to take eta petition file korise in the Supreme Court. Okay. Next case is killing of Amur star falcons. Okay, Amur star golo, killing of Amur falcons evokes sharp reaction in Manipur. Amur falcons ki hoy? World's largest traveling raptors. Ihot poa jay. World's largest traveling raptors. This people. That is the Amur falcons, and they start traveling on the onset of winters. So these raptors breed in the regions like southeastern Siberia. Okay, southeastern Siberia mane jodi moi ekhon besi damor korilo, but still if I consider this to be Russia, so Russia southeastern mane ekhini jaga, which is the region close towards China. Okay, southeastern China, okay, southeastern Siberia dekhe tokhale like breed kore, obviously concentrating more towards the northern China and migrating in millions across India and then over the Indian Ocean to around southern Africa before returning to Mongolia and Siberia. So therefore ihote generally kiman khini travel kore? 22,000 kilometers they travel, 22,000 kilometers, and it is one of the longest among all avian species. And from where they have got their name? They have got their name from the Amur river that forms the border between Russia and China. Russia and China major ekhon river ase which is known as the Amur river, and this acts as a natural boundary between Russia and China. Okay, so there is a lake also in Nagaland. Etu monot rakhiba, there is a lake which is known as Doyang Lake in Nagaland. Doyang Lake in Nagaland. It is better known for the stopovers of these Amur falcons during their migration, and therefore thus Nagaland is also known as the falcon capital of the world. Karon Nagaland iman khini ei Doyang Lake jodi moi kotha kolu, ei lake tour osot bahut khini Amur falcons ahi pela rokhi jay. Okay, tahan jete tar pora ulai ahe, okay, when they are directly coming in from this region of southeastern Siberia, Mongolia cross kori pelai তেখেতসকল যেতিয়া ইণ্ডিয়াৰ ফালে আহি থাকে, ইণ্ডিয়ান অ'চিয়ানৰ ফালে সাউথ ইঞ্চৰ মানে আহি পেলাই নাগালেণ্ডৰ ওচৰত যিখিনি আমাৰ জেগা আছে নাগালেণ্ডৰ ওচৰত তাতে হাইলি ব্ৰিড কৰে. So therefore this area is basically known as the falcon capital of the world. Okay, আৰু তাৰ লেকটো কোনটো মই কলো, তাৰ লেকটো মই কি কলো, দয়াং লেক. Okay, Doyang Lake in Nagaland. So therefore these birds are obviously in least concern in the IUCN list. Least concern hoy IUCN list. Okay, aru ami jano that it is protected via the Indian Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. Okay, so ei bostu to amar karone important kyo asile, just because yate around 27 dead falcons paisile. Okay, আৰু বহুতজন মানুহে ধৰাও গৈছিলে আৰু বহুতখিনি আমি এটা শৰ্টগানছ পাইছিলো. ওকে, সো তাতে ইলিগেল মিটস তেখেতসকলে বিক্ৰী কৰিছিলে. তো তাৰ কাৰণে দিস আমুৰ ফাল্কনছ ওয়াজ ইন নিউজ. Okay, আৰু এটো আৰু এটা বস্তু জানা যায় locally মণিপুৰত কি বুলি জানা যায়, it is known as আখৈ কুইনা। Okay, কি হয় আখৈ কুইনা, এটো locally জানা যায় ক'ত, in this region of Manipur। Okay, মনত ৰাখিবা। সুধিব পাৰে মণিপুৰ ৰিসেন্টলি ভাইলেন্সত আছিল, তো ভাইলেন্সটো নুসুধি এইটো বস্তু সুধি দিব পাৰে। Okay, everything may happen। Okay, so see how beautiful these birds are, Amur falcons। Lastly, কি আহিলে POCSO Act non-reporting of sexual assault despite knowledge is a serious crime। Okay, so জানি বুজিও যদি অফেন্সটো ৰিপৰ্ট কৰা নাই সেইটো এটা সিরিয়াস ক্রাইমৰ ভিতৰত পৰে আৰু এটো ৰিসেন্টলি সুপ্ৰিম কোৰ্টে কৈছে। Okay, that is the non-reporting of sexual assault against a minor despite knowledge is a serious crime and as an attempt to shield the offenders, the Supreme Court say। মানে দুখিক বচাব পাৰা কাৰণে তোমালোকে ইয়াতে লাগি ধৰিছা, তো হেতু কাৰণে this is very much discussed today by the Supreme Court, আৰু হেতু কাৰণে Supreme Court POCSO Act টো আকৌ ৰিভিজিট কৰিব কৈছিলে যে you should have provisions so that this type of crimes or this type of people should not escape from the things of justice, okay, or from the manners of law। So আজি আমি জানো about the POCSO Act enactment কেতিয়া হৈছিলে, June 19, 2012। Okay, আৰু we can see that the long title of this POCSO Act is the Act to Protect Children from Offences of Sexual Assault and Sexual Harassment and even Pornography, and provide for the establishment of the special courts for trials of such offences and also for matters that are connected therewith in this particular case। And who is particularly the ministry who is basically looking about the POCSO Act? It is the Ministry of Women and Child Development। Okay, now if I have to see some of the basic elements with respective to this POCSO Act, POCSO Act or kisuman basic elements ase which we can see in this particular act, that is mainly we can say it to be the general principles। So yate POCSO Act or since ami POCSO Act bahut bar discuss korisu, still mo koi diu some of the general principles। The main motto of the POCSO Act is to right to life and survival, eto eta main issue hoy tar uporot it is the best interest of the child। Okay, that is the harmonious development of the child is the main aim of the POCSO Act। Also right to be treated with dignity and compassion, right to be protected from discrimination, right to special preventive measures is also one of the important criteria। Then even if you see right to be informed, right to be heard and express views and concerns, right to privacy, right to effective assistance, right to safety, right to be protected during hardship during the justice process, right to compensation, এই গুটেবিলাক এটা প্ৰিন্সিপলছ হয় কাৰ of the POCSO Act। Okay, and even more also lastly go paro about the right to compensation। যদি the person is getting affected, you have to compensate him well also। So therefore in this present criteria, in this present scenario, you have to see the importance of the POCSO Act and how this POCSO Act is basically one of the fundamental principles to protect every type of rights in association with the children। তো হেতু কাৰণে এটো মেইনলি আমাৰ যেহেতু মাইনৰৰ কাৰণে হয়, তো এইটো কাৰণে মাইনৰৰ কাৰণে ৰিসেন্টলি সুপ্ৰিম কোৰ্টে কৈছে যে মাইনৰৰ ওপৰত যিমানখিনি ক্ৰাইম হৈছে এটুক যদি কোনোবাই লুকাই থৈ দিয়ে, then also that person could be convicted since he is directly doing an offense despite the knowledge of having a serious crime। Okay, so etu bostu ahi gol amar aji current affairs of despite knowledge the serious crime, law and order issues opor aru yate gote POCSO Act khon ami koi thwa ase। You can see about the features of this act। Okay, ইয়াত গোটেইখিনি আছে, role of the police কি হয়, safeguards কি আছে। Okay, mandatory reporting কি বস্তু হয়, provides legal data upon a person who has knowledge that a child has been sexually abused, okay, and within 6 months imprisonment or fine। Okay, so এটা definitions বিলাক ভালকে দিয়া আছে, এবাৰ PDF খন ডাউনলোড কৰাৰ পিছত ভালকে চাই লবা। Okay, so anyways today we have come to the end of this today's session। So we'll be starting with the dedicated essay sessions as well as the dedicated ethics case study sessions, 15 minutes to 20 minutes or even 10 to 15 minutes, which will be recorded and will be uploaded in the YouTube channel so that you can directly get some of the maximum output from such number of short videos। Okay, so ekini we have to say today। Okay, also we'll be going with this particular test on 17th, 18th and 19th of June। Okay, this is the time schedule। Okay, this is the time schedule through which you can directly come over and you can appear in this full length test both online and offline। Okay, so that was all with today's session। If you have any queries, visit us in csap.co.in, visit us by the code or also you can call us by the number 91275 15541. That is all for today. Thank you and have a good day ahead.